Trouble is my middle name. Danger is my middle name. Profit is my middle name.
Now, contrary to the title, Rad isn't that much like Rocket Raccoon, but the similarities are hard to ignore when you're first introduced to the character. A short, talking Earth-like animal who pilots a spaceship, hangs out with criminals, prioritizes money, is skilled with technology, has a fearless attitude, likes to wield large guns, and has a sense of humor. Okay, maybe he is pretty much like Rocket Raccoon, although their core personalities are fairly different, with Rocket being a loudmouth and Rad being very calm and to the point. I've also heard a few comparisons to Han Solo being thrown around when talking about Rad, but unless you're used to the character, he just screams Rocket Raccoon, right?
This!
A plumber ship crash lands on a toxic alien planet, so Ben and Rook must team up with Rad Dudesman to launch a rescue mission. They bring along a Grackleflint, who can cure the poisonous airspace, but Pax stows along to make this episode an absolute chore to get through. I know I'm not in the minority when I say I really don't like this guy, not just for how he works in the show. He inadvertently makes the idea of animal rights activism seem like a silly and harmful idea.
I am suppressing an inordinately powerful urge to knock you out.
They write him so you're rooting against the one sticking up for the little guy. Seriously, what were they thinking with this character?
See here, you Rook?
So, because Pax lets the Grackleflint free, and the Grackleflint has an innate urge to kill everyone, well, there's your conflict of the episode. An unlikable character doing something stupid to cause unnecessary problems. I did find the reoccurring middle name joke amusing when you find out at the end that he wasn't lying about any of them.
Captain Rad, Prophet, Danger, Trouble, Dudesman.
Told you.
I like the small detail where Ben doesn't react to Pax getting blown up because he knows Wildvine can regenerate, while Rook does still freak out. This is also the second time Ben's become an old alien this season and acknowledges it in the episode.
Ditto? Wow, I haven't used Ditto since forever.
Hi, guy. I haven't seen this guy in like forever.
The fact that all of the bar patrons are afraid of Dudesman just feels like the Maw riddle joke all over again, except Maw actually has the means to back it up. But you never really find out what makes Rad so threatening, aside from owning some giant guns, which so many characters in the show does. Hell, even Fistrick has Rad's exact same gun in the previous episode. This story doesn't do anything to prove the frightful hype around Rad. This isn't to say Rad's a bad character though. I actually enjoyed him a lot more than I remembered when watching this episode. Rad does display proficiency when carrying out his mission, and you can tell Rook has a lot of respect and fun working with Rad. Still, I don't get what makes him so uniquely threatening.
You're a duck. Come on. Am I the only one seeing this?
Props to Carlos Alazraqui for voicing not only Rad, but Pixie, the Grackleflint, and Major Glorf, making up about half the cast of this episode. And it was sweet seeing Rook geek out about Rad's ship.
Onboard AI computer and an Axion halo grid wired to the gyro axle?
As Rook's technical prowess isn't something we often get to see when he's not around other techies like Kevin. I'll give Rad credit, he does drive a really cool looking ship, and the duck honk when he clicks his keys is a nice touch. And the duck alarm is cute too. But given most of this episode takes place inside of this ship, there's not a lot of room for interesting visuals to happen. Though, this episode still makes time to slide in some impressive shots, like the entire takeoff sequence for the lovely duck going into hyperspace. Although it would have been a nice continuity nod if they did the same onion skin effect when the trio went into hyperspace in War of the Worlds Part 2. It's also very weird they reskinned the Null Void portal from Ben 10,000 as the engine room for the lovely duck. Omniverse has reskinned many backgrounds before, but usually just to translate them to the Omniverse style. But this is the first time I'm seeing them change the purpose of the background as well. They'll later continue this trend by redrawing Vilgax's ship from Soto to Ben 10K's headquarters in the future, and I'll try to keep my eyes out for more examples. The Grackleflint is easily one of the worst looking creatures in all of Ben 10, nonetheless Omniverse. There's something about episodes with Pax that brings the ugliest looking creatures the series has to offer, and not, oh, that's so gross, it's cool ugly. Like, this looks like a terrible design ugly. It looks like one of those hyper-realistic adaptations of children drawings that was trending a while back. Some of the facial expressions in this episode are pretty great, and I like the lily pad designs of the Incursion ships. I think these are new. Due to the lovely duck flying through Incursion airspace, this episode ties itself a little more to the Incursion arc, but like Tummy Trouble and Vilgax Must Croak, it only serves to remind you that the Incursions are the current threat, rather than moving the story forward in any meaningful way. There really wasn't much to say about about this episode. It's fairly straightforward, much like Rad Dudesman, but it also doesn't feel that engaging. It's certainly on the lower end of the episodes Omniverse has to offer. I just wish it gave me more to either love or hate. Instead, I don't feel like I got anything out of this. So all that's left to do is to move on to the next one.
And none of you ever mentioned this incident to anyone.
Hey folks, just want to take a few seconds for you to stay in the loop. Tired of waiting so long for our videos? Well, you can help speed up the process. You can join either our Patreon or YouTube membership down below to help us make more Ben 10 breakdowns, episodes of And Beyond, and 5 Whale the Motion Comic, along with everything else we got cooking. Rewards include shoutouts, special channels and badges, exclusive live streams, my making of video diary series, a secret Minecraft server, access to our project files, and more. You can also come hang out with me over on Twitch, where I draw commissions and interact with the community. And if you're enjoying this video, please leave a like and help us feed the unyielding, relentless bloodlust known as the YouTube algorithm. Now, back to the video.